sent me 3 of his loops that he had done. I get a lot of loops from a bunch of random people, and his stood out immediately. I wanted to make a beat with one. Yo, real quick, the beat battle for the Galaxy Guitars Kit is officially over. All submissions are closed. I'm gonna be going through all the fire beats that you guys sent me to pick one winner that will be announced in next week's video, so stay tuned for that. Enjoy. What's good, everyone? It's Chambers from chambersmixedit.com, and today I have a very special guest who is a student of my online class. I'd like to introduce you to Control Gang.
What's up, bro? Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. So I want to start out with getting to know you. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from?
Yeah, my name is Control Gang, and I'm from Montenegro. I'm a 23-year-old producer, and I've been only doing music for like a year full time. That's since I graduated my University of Law. Back then, I was doing beats, but it was barely consistent. I treated it as a hobby. I'd make a beat for, let's say, an hour a day, and then I couldn't make beats for like 5 days because I had to study. Since I graduated, I've been like full time in this, and I made some really big progress. I got really good at making beats, but one thing I lacked at was making loops. You know, it was kind of the boring part for me, and I was going through all these YouTube videos on tutorials, how to make this type of loop and this type of stuff. I didn't seem to find anyone who went through the music theory basics, and that's what I needed, you know? I didn't want to copy someone else's style of Lil Baby loops, for example. I could make them myself, but I didn't know how to start. Didn't know what's the first thing I do when I open up a VST. Stumbled upon your videos. I really liked them, but then I saw that you mentioned that you had a whole course going on. So I was like, you know, let's give it a shot. It was very reasonably priced. I was like, what's the worst that can happen? I can either waste my money or it can be an extremely good investment.
Yeah.
And your courses were amazing. I needed somebody to take me by hand and run me through all the like basics of music theory, what are chords, minor chords, major chords. I didn't know anything about that. It was really helpful for me. In like 5 days of starting, I was already making my first loops. You know, it was really fun. I can even like show you one of the loops I made. This is like, keep in mind, one of my first loops that I made after joining your course. Do you want me to open the F?
Yeah, for sure.
This is like one of the first loops I made like 5 days after joining your course. I'll break it down right now. This is like the first part of the melody. I learned from your course how to use chords to make melodies from it. The keyscape, like bass piano, starting, nothing crazy. Then I went into the chords. And then I added this like top layer melody that I learned from using the chord parts, adding the like the second and the fifth part of the melody.
Yeah. The reverse effect is cool.
Yep. And I wanted to spice it up by adding some really distorted and unique sounds.
Yo.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I just like copied the same MIDI and added onto like another preset, sounding like this.
Yeah.
And this part as well. And all together with the bass, of course, doing this. Yeah, that's about it, bro. And
Crazy.
I was so surprised how easy it was once you get a hold of the basics. And it's not that complicated. Before I started, I was like not doing loops because it seemed so complicated. You know, how do I start with the chords? What are chords? How do I layer this sound? But you made it so easy. That's like really useful to somebody who's like doesn't know anything about beats. And for someone like me who knew already how to make beats but was lacking at loops. That's what I like about your course mostly, because it gathers every info basically you need and puts it into like one website where it's all clean. You had like a nice, you know, classes section and everything.
I'll organize all the resources that you can need in one place.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That loop especially for, you said you're just doing this for 1 year?
Yeah, full time, like 1 year. Before, very inconsistent work.
Messing around?
Yeah, basically messing around with it.
Yeah, no, loop like that, it would take some people 5 years to be able to do something like that. I mean, your sound selection, the melody layering, like you got these textures just to fill up the space. The bass at the end is super fire.
I appreciate it.
The music theory basics were some of the ones that helped you the most.
Yes, sir. Keep in mind, I had like no idea what basics of music theory were.
He sent me 3 of his loops that he had done. I get a lot of loops from a bunch of random people, and his stood out immediately. I wanted to make a beat with one. One of the best things is how clearly you labeled it. You got the title, BPM, key, and your name.
That's the one thing I took like from beat making, because when other producers were sending me loops, a lot of times they didn't even like put the BPM. Some of the times not even the key, and I'm like, why is it so hard to like just put the key? It takes you like 1 second.
I'll get like a file that says audio 123579 underscore. Like, bro, what?
That's the worst, bro. I just skipped through that shit. I just skipped through that.
I'm gonna use my brand new starter template. Comes with all of my go-to drum sounds loaded into the channel rack, organized in the mixer, helps you make beats immediately. And then we head on into this part where it gets more complicated, more advanced.
Right now, my two favorite plugins are Keyscape and Analog, and I use some phrases. It's like the part I learned on later that you can like spice up your loop by just adding like a random sound.
The starter kit also comes with MIDI files, so I could just go grab a hi-hat pattern real quick, drag and drop it right in. And then from there, if I want to edit it, go into this one and make it unique. Pitch, put it up 1 semitone, maybe speed it up a little bit. I have no doubt that it's correct, but a lot of people, they title their loops and they'll put like D minor, and the whole time it's actually an A minor. So you said it's in C minor.
Yeah.
I just put it up 1 semitone, so that means that the 808 should be fine at C sharp. Yep, he's got it. When the 808 goes down to like A, it sounds a little too low, so I'll usually pick it up to like B. So I'll go up another 2. We can make this one unique. Add some 808 tricks in this one. Learn a whole lot more about this in the advanced drums course in the online class. I love when I could take a loop and put it down an octave so we could have that contrast in the song. And then there's the beat. That little dun-dun thing is crazy. The amount of layers that just make for a really easy time structuring out the song, and it's everything that I could want in a loop. So great job, man. Really appreciate what you did here.
Thanks, couldn't have done it with your help though.
Is there anything that you would say to someone who's thinking of joining the online class?
To me, it was like one of my best investments as far as, you know, learning stuff as a producer. Anyone, like, even if you do know loops, maybe you don't know something about mixing, or vice versa. If you are good at beats like I was, then you're maybe lacking at loops. So anything you need to learn, I'm sure they'll find it like very easy to go through your course and get out of it as a more knowledgeable producer with definitely like more skills.
It's all available at chamberscourses.com. It has over 100 course videos available for you, plus almost all of my sound kits included for free, covering music theory to drums and mixing, sound design, placement breakdowns of me going behind the scenes to show you how I made songs for major label artists. There's also the community that's a part of the class where you could join to talk to other producers, talk to me, ask questions, get to know other people just like you. All links are down below for you if you're interested. Control Gang, where can people find you? Got any social media that you want to link people to?
You can add me on Control Gang, at Control Gang on Instagram, and also check my YouTube type beat channel where I post mostly Lil Baby type beats. You'll find some cool stuff over there as well, so make sure to hit me up.
Go check him out. You gotta get some loops from him. He goes crazy. I'm sure if his loops are crazy, then the beats that he has on his channel are gonna be even more fire. So be sure to check him out. Really appreciate your time. I'm glad that I could talk about the class with you today and see the amazing work that you've been able to make.
Appreciate you for having me, Chambers.
Thank you all for watching. Leave a comment. Let me know what videos you guys want to see in the future, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.